Now, welcome to the broadcast. Now, every year, Kenya's political class drape themselves in the language of faith, staging a solemn ritual meant to project unity and humility. The National Prayer Breakfast is presented as a moment of collective devotion. But behind the soft glow of chandeliers and solemn hymns lies a contradiction. The same voices that call for peace and compassion in the prayer hall are the ones that fuel division, preside over punitive laws, and ignore the cries of ordinary citizens throughout the year. As ktnnews' Verah reports, what is framed as a sacred moment of national reflection feels more like a political theater, a carefully choreographed display of piety that masks the failures of governance and the suffering of the people.
The annual National Prayer Breakfast, a day set aside to give thanks and dedicate the nation before God and Allah. Here, members of parliament arrived draped in their finest suits, taking turns at the podium to lead the service, and the president is expected to attend. But President William Ruto is no stranger to the language of faith. He has carefully cultivated the image of a leader who is a man of God and great, because he openly aligns himself with the church, often weaving Bible verses in his speeches. Sometimes he is a teary Ruto, always praying. Over the years, the contradictions of the National Prayer Breakfast has become difficult to ignore. Out of the 365 days in a year, the National Breakfast Prayer Day is the only day the political class is clothed in righteousness, performing piety. They hold hands with rivals, exchange polite smiles, and invoke God's name. But when the prayers fade, the masks often come off, and for the remaining 364 days, the same leaders sharpen their tongues into weapons of division.
Unapata wanaita hiyo mkutano, watu wanaenda kuomba, but wakiwa kwa mkutano zao za kisiasa ndio hao wanatusiana. Kuna vitu mengi Wanakenya wanataka hawasaidii nayo.
Shame on you. Huyo mtu apotee asipotee. Alafu unatuambia mambo ya mauaji. Muuaji ni nani? Ni huyo mshenzi, si huyo mshenzi.
The same voices that call for peace and compassion in the prayer halls are the ones that fuel division. They speak of healing, yet turn a blind eye to the suffering of the people they claim to serve. And throughout the year, these leaders transform political platforms into battlegrounds, hurling insults across parliament floors and trading burps at rallies, eventually widening the fractures. They later pretend to mend with the national prayers.
Kuna haja tuite maombi wakati tumeweka jukwaa ya kufanya mzaha.
Tumeenda pale, tumeenda kuhost prayer day, alafu unatoka hapo unaanza matusi. Hiyo tabia sio mzuri.
Lest we forget, during the National Prayer Breakfast, the childhood memory verses come to life for most leaders. Scriptures once recited in Sunday school suddenly flow effortlessly. But outside the prayer halls, the reality is stark.
Mtu kama huyo apigwe risasi miguu, aende hospitali, akienda kotini.
Families mourn sons and daughters lost to police brutality. This day is meant to symbolize unity, humility, and devotion. But beyond the choir's harmonies, outside are protesters demanding fair treatment, met with tear gas and batons. The organizers of this event are the same members of parliament that have passed taxes that crush small businesses, policies that favor the elite, and directives that silence dissent. The National Prayer Breakfast is often a place where unity is carefully rehearsed but rarely lived, where compassion is eloquently preached yet never practiced.
Actually, wanastahili kuondoa national prayer, waweke National Breakfast Day. Kwa sababu si kama maombi, ni kukula.
Is bringing together pastors and politicians together, and it does not have any impact to our Christians' lives.
And as the leaders gather once again in prayer tomorrow, May 28th, inside the quiet luxury of a secluded hotel, millions of Kenyans will watch from a distance and will remain spectators of a ritual that over the years has begun to feel less like a sacred gathering and more like a well-rehearsed play. Verah, Moraa, ktnnews.